Welcome to Concrete Block, the podcast where we dive into the day's top stories, providing you with a comprehensive and unbiased look at what's happening in the world. I'm your host, Walter, and I'm excited to share today's lead story with you. We're starting off with a fascinating tale of government propaganda and potential misinformation. It appears that the Trump administration has been using various federal departments and agencies to spread what some are calling MAGA propaganda at a cost of over $1 billion to taxpayers. This effort includes everything from ads thanking the president for his immigration crackdown to military parades and flyovers. One particular example that caught our attention is an email sent out by the Social Security Administration, which some experts have labeled as highly misleading. The email claims that a new bill, known as the Big Beautiful Bill, will provide relief to seniors by eliminating federal income taxes on their Social Security benefits. However, according to Kathleen Romig, a senior policy analyst at the Center on Budget and Policy Priorities, this claim is not entirely accurate. Romig points out that the bill did not repeal taxation of Social Security benefits and that the so-called senior deduction has nothing to do with getting Social Security. She also notes that most beneficiaries are not affected by the bill, including those who don't pay taxes on their benefits, those under 65, and those with incomes above the bill's phase-out. The use of government agencies to promote what some see as partisan propaganda has raised concerns about the integrity of these institutions and the potential for misinformation. As Alex Lawson, executive director at Social Security Works, puts it, Donald Trump has created a massive customer service crisis at Social Security, and instead of addressing this issue, the agency is sending a piece of political propaganda filled with lies. We'll continue to follow this story and provide updates as more information becomes available. In the meantime, we want to hear from you. What do you think about the use of government agencies for promotional purposes? Should these institutions remain impartial, or is it acceptable for them to promote the administration's agenda? We'll be right back with more of today's top news on Concrete Block. Welcome back to Concrete Block. We're diving into a complex and thought-provoking story that's been making headlines recently. The Trump administration has been granted permission to send immigrants to so-called third countries where they have no ties, without guaranteeing them due process. Now, let's break down what this means. The concept of third country removals refers to the practice of deporting individuals to a country that is not their own, nor the country from which they entered the United States. In this case, 8 men were set to be deported to South Sudan, a war-torn country with a history of human rights abuses. The government argued that these individuals had been convicted of felonies and served their sentences, but their lawyers countered that deporting them to a country where they could face torture or harm would be an unconstitutional punishment. The case made its way through the courts, with a federal judge in Massachusetts ultimately declining to halt the deportations, citing previous orders from the Supreme Court. It's essential to consider the implications of this decision. On one hand, the Trump administration argues that this policy is necessary to deter future migration and maintain national security. On the other hand, human rights advocates and immigration lawyers express concerns about the potential harm and suffering that these individuals could face in countries with questionable human rights records. As we explore this story, it's crucial to acknowledge the complexities of the issue. The United States has a long history of grappling with immigration policy, and there are valid arguments on both sides. While some argue that the country has a responsibility to protect its borders and maintain order, others believe that it's equally important to uphold the principles of due process and human rights. As we reflect on this story, it's worth considering the words of Thomas Jefferson, who wrote in the Declaration of Independence about the importance of trial by jury and the dangers of transporting individuals beyond seas to be tried for pretended offenses. While the context is different, the underlying principles of justice and fairness remain relevant today. In conclusion, The decision to allow third country removals raises important questions about the balance between national security, human rights, and due process. As we continue to navigate this complex issue, it's essential to engage in respectful and informed dialogue, considering multiple perspectives and seeking solutions that uphold the values of justice and compassion. Stay tuned for our final story of the day, right here on Concrete Block. Welcome back to Concrete Block. Today, we're going to dive into a fascinating story about a tennis legend who broke barriers on and off the court. Arthur Ashe, a name that resonates with excellence, courage, and determination, is our focus for this final segment. Ashe's remarkable career in tennis is well documented, but what's truly inspiring is his journey beyond the sport. He became the first black man to win a Wimbledon singles title in 1975, defeating Jimmy Connors in a thrilling match. This achievement not only marked a significant milestone in his career, but also paved the way for future generations of tennis players from diverse backgrounds. Ashe's impact extended far beyond his athletic accomplishments. He was a vocal advocate for social justice and human rights, using his platform to raise awareness about racism, apartheid, and HIV/AIDS. His bravery in sharing his own struggles with HIV, which he contracted through a blood transfusion during heart surgery, helped reduce stigma around the disease and encouraged others to speak openly about their experiences. The legacy of Arthur Ashe continues to inspire people worldwide. The Arthur Ashe Stadium, the main court for the US Open, stands as a testament to his enduring impact on the sport. The annual Arthur Ashe Award for Courage, presented at the ESPYs, recognizes individuals who embody his spirit of resilience and determination. As we reflect on Ashe's life and achievements, it's essential to acknowledge the complexities and challenges he faced. His experiences with racism and discrimination are a sobering reminder of the ongoing struggles for equality and justice in our society. However, his response to these challenges, with courage, compassion, and perseverance, serves as a powerful example for us all. In conclusion, Arthur Ashe's story is a poignant reminder of the transformative power of sports and the human spirit. His legacy encourages us to strive for excellence, to stand up for what we believe in, and to support one another in the face of adversity. That's all for today's Concrete Block. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, stay informed.